What's up, y'all, man? Let's talk about this Magimoff and Terrence Crawford fight. Let me talk about some of the other part of the card first. Andy Cruz, pretty good performance. He was fighting a guy with a lot of experience, a lot of fights. Andy Cruz in that fight showed me some grit. He was looking to load up a little bit too much because he wanted to knock the guy out quicker than what Devin Haney did in his fight. That's the danger you get into when you're trying to outdo another fighter. I think if Andy Cruz would have fought behind his jab a little bit more, he would have got the guy out of there anyway. I don't know what round he would have got him out, but he would have got him out. I thought he would have got him out anyway because the guy was very, very aggressive. He should have been looking for a little bit more counter shots, step to the side, get the guy on the counters, but he did get the stoppage. That was a good victory for him. The Gerald Miller, Big Baby Miller fight against McCauley. I was never sold on Big Baby Gerald Miller. I've just never been sold on the way he fights, his mental, the way he approached the fight mentally. He doesn't look like mentally. He doesn't look like to me that he's ready to be the next best American heavyweight champion. I know a lot of people was on him. I think, in my opinion, he took this fight. He took this chance, and I'm going to applaud him. He fought a guy that got more experience than him, a guy that been in the ring with a lot of really good fighters already. So, that aspect. And then heavyweights. Your heavyweights usually mature late, a little bit later. He's only, 25, 24 years old. I thought he should, before he fought somebody like McCauley, he should have probably had like another 3 or 4 fights before he got in the ring with somebody like that. I seen backstage, Bob Arum told him to go home and rest, and we're going to bring you back like nothing ever happened. You know what that means? They about to rebuild him again. They about to step back the competition. He finna go down the peg. He finna go down to fighting C+ heavyweights. Because one thing about heavyweight, all of them have power. All of them can hurt each other. All of them can beat each other with that one punch. That's one thing. That's one thing that's intriguing about heavyweights. You can fight a C+ heavyweight. That C+ heavyweight can still beat you. So yeah, that's what Bob Arum means by that. That's what that means. That means that we finna slow it down. We finna slow it all the way down, and we finna rebuild you in 3 or 4. I'm finna feed you 3 or 4, 5 opponents that you can handle, and then we're gonna bring you back up to this level again later. The Andy Ruiz and the Big Baby Miller fight, the other Big Baby, to me, Big Baby Miller lost the fight because in the first 4 rounds, he didn't really throw a whole lot of punches. Now, he was aggressive. He was coming forward. But just because you're aggressive and coming forward, that doesn't mean you're going to get the round. You got to throw punches behind that aggressiveness. If he'd have threw punches behind that aggressiveness, he would have won the fight 8-4. Andy Ruiz fought good in the first half. He said he broke his hand in the 5th. Now, when he took his glove off and that tape off, you seen the break. Now, a lot of fighters say, I hurt my hand, I did this happened in the fight. But this is the hurt business, so he don't get no excuse for his hand being hurt. But at least his shit was really broken. You can see the bone. The bone was pushed back, so that's gonna impair or push back his time to when he gonna be able to further his career as far as being, active. Because Andy Ruiz have an active problem. But let's go to the Terrence Crawford Magimoff fight. To me, really good fight, really good technical fight. Magimoff on tape, he didn't fight as aggressive as he did on tape. And what I keep telling people, when you fight Terrence Crawford, people are not going to come in there throwing a lot of punches like they did in their previous fights because you're worried about the counters. That's what being a sharp counter puncher does for you. It lessens the guy aggressiveness. It's throwing punches. Now, Magimoff wasn't throwing wild hooks like he did in his previous fights. Terrence Crawford and them, they said they was preparing for, the Magimoff they seen on tape as far as being aggressive. He wasn't that aggressive. Now you have to come up with something on the fly. And that's the greatness of Terrence Crawford. He was able to come up with a different way of approaching Magimoff. Magnemov had a ton of feints, like more feints than I seen anybody throw. He said his shoulders was bouncing because what he doing is he trying to not telegraph his punches, which was brilliant on his end. He didn't telegraph that right hand at all. He was catching Terrence Crawford all night with that right hand. He did have a dominant punch with that right hand, but a lot of people say, well, the fight was close, it was this, it was that. No, Terrence Crawford had more than one dominant punch. Magnemov dominant punch was the right hand, and that was it. He wasn't going to the body, anything like that. And Terrence Crawford said the reason why he was southpaw because he wanted to take away Magnemov body shot that Magnemov liked to throw, his straight body shot that he likes to throw, which he said I wanted to take that away, so he did take that away. But Terrence Crawford had more than one dominant punch. Terrence Crawford had a dominant jab. He had a dominant hook. He had a dominant, he was doing body work. So he was working upstairs and downstairs. Magnemov is just working upstairs. And Terrence Crawford was throwing combinations. So Terrence Crawford outthrew Magnemov by 60, 70 something punches. So, no, Terrence Crawford won the fight. To me, Terrence Crawford won the fight 8-4. Magnemov in the first 4 rounds, Magnemov wasn't really that busy. He started picking it up until like the 5th or 6th round. Because you can hear Joel, just listen to the corners. That's all you have to do. If you have the feed where you can listen to the corner, you can hear Joel Diaz tell him, you got to get busier. You got to get busy. You got to let your hands go more. He was telling him that because he wasn't that busy. He was looking for one shot. He was like trying to just look for one shot to hurt Terrence Crawford. And it wasn't coming. Some of those right hands was hitting Terrence Crawford gloves first before they got through. Some of them did get through clean. I thought Terrence Crawford got hit by too many right hands. He should have picked up that right hand a little bit better as the fight went on. But like I said, dude telegraphed that right hand beautifully with all the feints in them. Because what fighters are looking for are shots off from the shoulders. And he didn't give you the indication of what punch he was going to throw off his shoulders because his shoulders constantly were moving. If he constantly moving his shoulders, you don't know what punch he's about to throw. And Magnemov, to me, instead of him, well, if he would have got more aggressive, he would have landed more shots. But if he'd have got more aggressive, he would have been open for more counters. And a couple of those counters that Terrence Crawford threw hurt him. He was hurt a couple times in the fight. Yeah, if you didn't see it, then I don't know if you know what you're looking for. But yeah, he got hurt with a couple of those counter shots. That's why he wasn't as aggressive as he was, or what Bo Mac them seen on tape and what I seen on tape. If he would have been more aggressive, I believe Terrence Crawford would have got the knockout eventually. Now, Terrence Crawford would probably got hit with a couple more shots, but Terrence Crawford, in my opinion, would have got the knockout if he would have opened up a little bit more. Now, to me, I thought Terrence Crawford should have been on his front foot a little bit more, pushed Magnemov back in the straight line, using his jab and landing more power shots. I thought he probably could have got him out of there doing that. But nevertheless, it was a great performance by both fighters. I told y'all, these European fighters are ready to win now. When they have all these amateur fights, staying at the amateurs for a long time, because they usually stay at the amateurs till they 20, 22, 23, and they get all this experience fighting all over the world, fighting all these styles, honing their craft. I'm not saying that fighting a lot of amateur fights is the end-all, be-all, but it's a great foundation for your fighter. If you want to wait that long and stay in the amateurs. When they come over here, they are ready to fight guys. Even though Andy Cruz is not European, but Andy Cruz goes under that banner of having all those fights, all those amateur fights. He fought somebody that had like 30 fights, and he only had 3 fights at the time. So they ready to beat guys with single digits losses on their record. They're not fighting guys with double digit losses on their record. The first 5 or 6 fights, people got double digit losses on their record because you're trying to build your fighter up. No, they ready to get to it now. That guy only had 10 fights, and he was ready to go in there and compete against Terrence Crawford now. And he did compete. But yeah, I thought Terrence Crawford won the fight. And then a lot of people say, well, do y'all still want him to fight Canelo? Don't say Canelo at your mouth anymore. When he fight Canelo, it'll be a totally different fight. First of all, this guy's feet were real good, and his upper body movement, as far as not telegraphing his punches and the feints that he had, will be a totally different fight with Canelo. Now, Terrence Crawford will have a different things that he got to deal with Canelo, as far as explosiveness and size. But Canelo feet is nothing like that. Terrence Crawford will be able to land way more jabs, way more body shots on Canelo Alvarez. Now, he will have to deal with Canelo Alvarez being more explosive in jumping up to 168. But no, if you know fighting and you know how fighting styles are, you don't look at one fighter and say, well, he had a tough time with this fighter, so this fighter, he should. No, if he would have knocked out Magnemov in the first 5 rounds or 6 rounds or 7 rounds or whatever round he would have stopped him in, that's still, if people that don't have him beating Canelo still wouldn't have had him beating Canelo, this would have changed your mind of him beating Canelo, because first thing you would have said is he's not going to do that versus Canelo. So Terrence Crawford going 12 rounds with this man, to me, was good, because now it shows him that you are not first of all, his knockout streak is ended. He had like a 7-year knockout streak, 11 straight. You're not going to knock out everybody. Now, yeah, Terrence Crawford say he don't go in there looking for knockouts, but the man got 11 straight knockouts, so your mind is going to a knockout. You can't tell me his mind is not going to, he wanted to knock the guy out. He wanted to stop this guy. He's not happy because he didn't stop this guy. But it's good that he went 12 rounds, because against Canelo, most likely, he may go 12 rounds, most likely, versus have to go 12 rounds and beat Canelo on the scorecards. He may get it, who knows? But most likely he gonna have to go 12 rounds. So now the knockout streak is over. He ain't got to worry about that no more. Now, and his IQ showed in this fight. Magnemov IQ showed in this fight. They both had pretty good IQs. Magnemov was so disciplined of not getting aggressive and throwing the wild shots that I seen on tape, because I seen all types of counter opportunities on tape that I seen of him. He was so disciplined that he out-disciplined himself in the fight. It made him throw less shots. Terrence Crawford threw 170-something shots more than him, or 160-something shots more than him. So he really just made himself not as busier, because he didn't want to get outside of throwing a lot of shots, wild shots, because he didn't want to get countered. But yeah, let me know what y'all think, man. I think Terrence Crawford still can beat Canelo. I still got him beating Canelo. But I'm out.